All right, so today in this video, I am going to go over fitness, in particular how it relates to soccer games. So fitness is something that I've always known was important. One of the important things it is as a player is whenever you're doing fitness drills with your team, you have to take those fitness drills seriously. Whenever you're doing a scrimmage, you have to go all out. You cannot take shortcuts. You have to play as if it is a game. And many times what people do, they do not take practice training scrimmages with the same intensity as it is in a game. So the first off, before I go anywhere else, is anytime you're doing sprints in training, anytime you're doing games, any type of game, you have to go as if it was a game, as if you're in a real game, no matter what type of drill you're doing, because those games help build your fitness. They give you an opportunity to play while you are tired, and you have to keep pushing yourself. It's a mental game a lot of the times, and many times when you're in a game, depending on the how the game goes, you'll see players make mistakes because they don't know how to play when they're tired. So that's very important. It starts in practice. Second, you have to do training sessions on your own. You have to, guys. If you're talking about doing fitness on another level, the most fit players that I've ever played with, and myself, as far as me being a 31-year-old right now, the most important thing is you gotta do fitness sessions on your own. And one of the biggest misconceptions I had when I was a player growing up and in college, and a lot of other players that I played with, they had this same thing, is we thought that doing long distance running around in laps, running around long distance without turning, we thought it was a waste of time and it wasn't relevant to soccer. And it's taken me up until I was 31 to realize how important it is. And I look back on previous players that I played with and why they were in such good shape, why they were such conditioned. The most conditioned players were the players that not only did those short sprints, but they did laps and laps and laps. I'm talking about the fittest of the fittest players I played with. You know, me and most of the players, we used to say, oh, that's not relevant to soccer because in soccer you're always doing these short sprints. But one thing that I've realized with my training coach that I've had the last year or two is, and this guy played at the professional level, is those long distance runs are very important. Yes, you want to have short distance sprints that you do. You got to mix it up. Agility training, short sprints running training, that'll get you tired. You need that. That's essential. But what I realize, even just from my experience, but even from others, is that when you do that long running, and this is running not just walking and strolling around, but running to where you feel fatigued, is long distance running, is that it helps you build endurance. And what endurance is, it's being able to play for a long amount of time. Because in soccer, you do have the short sprints, but most of the time when you're moving in soccer, it's jogs, it's fast jogs, it's some walking. Most of it is not 100% sprint. And one thing that this long running does, it helps you to keep that high heart rate while you're running over a long period of time. Because the thing is, the short sprints, you're sprinting short, then you're stopping. Then after a drill, normally you get some press, you sprint short and then you're stopping, and then you get some break. But in a game, how often are you just stopping completely unless someone gets injured? So this long distance running, run laps, run miles, where you're just running like this. And I do this after I've done the short sprints, when I'm tired. When I'm tired from the short sprints, from the agility training, I do this long running. I do 2 miles, but I'm gonna ramp it up to 4 miles. And I'm telling you right now, I'm 30 years old. I'm injured at the moment, but I have never been fitter in my entire life than when I started incorporating this training of short sprints. And then after the sprints, after the hard sprints and you're tired, You take a break, maybe 2-3 minutes, maybe 4 minutes, but you have to make sure on those mile runs, whether it's 2 miles, 3 miles, 4 miles, 5 miles, 10 miles, you have to run it at a pace in which you are being challenged. You see, so obviously build up. When you're really tired, maybe do 1 mile, and then next time 2 miles. Build up over time, 3 miles, 4 miles, and do this after you've done the sprints, after you're tired. And that'll help you to build that stamina of consistent running, keeping your heart rate at a certain point. Keeping your heart rate at a certain point, jogging for those long distance, those long miles. So that's one thing, guys. I'm on the current team I play now, UPSL. I am 31, but in the playoff games we played last year, we had guys in their mid-20s, late 20s going down when we played long games, extra games, and I had the energy to play a whole another half even after the extra times, guys. So that's very important, and you have to do this over a period of time. It doesn't happen overnight. Maybe it takes 3 months, maybe it takes 4 months to feel a significant difference. I used to do this training to start once a week, and then when I can, I do it twice a week. But if you do it once a week, hard training, guys, not cheating yourself, hard training once a week, you can start there. Do it consistently over a long period of time. But if you guys can do it 2 or 3 times a week, that's even better. And then I think at some point you do maybe 2 times a week. And then at some point, if you get really good, you do 1 time a week, but the training has to be really hard. So that has to be a really good training. But for me, ideally, I like to do it at least 2 times a week, ideally, to keep my fitness up. And guys, this will help you. And then another thing to do also, if you can, is not just sprints and agility training, but if you can use a band to help you with a little bit with agility and power in your running. But this also helps with endurance as well. It helps really get your heart rate up while you are doing those sprints, so that you do sprints when you're tired. When you're really tired, you can go all out. So guys, with some of the clips I showed here, I hope it helped. I will probably be updating this in the future, because when I am ready to play again and do sprints again, I'll be recording more drills. That way you guys will see more examples of what I'm talking about. But as stated before, I use a trainer that played at the professional level, and just to be transparent, just so you know, he played in the MLS and he played for the MLS All-Star team. I remember him when I was 15 years old. I saw the MLS All-Star team playing against Real Madrid at the Bernabeu in 2005 or 2006. And I remember that game when Zinedine Zidane was for Real Madrid, Luis Figo, Ronaldo, and he was one of the players on the game. And he has a picture that he has now with Zidane, and Zidane was my all-time favorite player growing up, and he probably is my all-time because he helped me establish or lay a foundation for my game growing up. But I don't want to get too much on that. But like I said, this is a fitness drill, and I will most likely be updating this in the future.